All right, my name is Casey, and I am making this video to show you how to record your electric drum set into Logic Pro X, but using and getting the drum set sounds from the brain of your electric drum kit. There's plenty of videos out there how to record where you can use the plugins or the built-in sounds in Logic Pro X. Personally, I think they sound better here that are on this brain, especially this one. And so sometimes you just want the drum set you're used to playing with. So I'm going to show you how to set it up. It may not be the way a studio does it. I'm just kind of a guy at my house, but this is what I figured out so far, and hopefully it helps someone who's looking to do the same thing. Okay, so here's the drum kit I'm using. It's the Roland V drums. It's hard to see. Module TD50. Very nice kit. I really like it. So from a chord perspective, the only thing you really need to do is plug your USB cable going out of this and directly into the computer. So I'm USB out. Sorry, this is really messy, but and I'm just going USB into the computer. This is actually that cord. And then the other thing I do is I hook up a line out so I can just record a wave file of actually what I'm playing. Not sure why I do it, but because I end up screwing up what I play and probably want to make a couple tweaks in the program. But anyway, if you want a wave file, I'm coming out of a second headphone jack here. These are the headphones I listen to the drums on. You could also go out the back audio output. And that's simply going into my audio interface. Here I use the Focusrite Scarlett 2i4. Let's see, I'm going into track 2 here. Track 1 is just the microphone I'm talking on right now. But it's a real simple setup. Again, you don't even need this audio cable, and you could just do the USB. That'll work for what we're really trying to do. I've opened a new Logic Pro 10 or X project, and so I'm going to record my TD50 drums using the drum brain drum set sounds. So here's how it goes, and before I get into it, I guess I put some notes here that explains kind of how it works. Those were for myself, so hopefully you can understand them, but I'm going to go over it all right now. So the first thing I'm going to do is add a track. I'm going to add an external MIDI track. So the destination is it's going to the TD50, so it's going to and from the drum brain, which creates some unique things happening in Logic Pro. I'll go over kind of what I know about it. But when you have that track created, make sure you select channel 10 over here in the library. Otherwise, it will not. You won't hear anything. It just doesn't work right. So just make sure you do that. Not sure why you have to, but that's the way it is. Then I'm going to put a software instrument track. There's a few reasons I'm going to do that. I'll go over them, but they're going to be tied together, which, we can untie them later. Let me change this let me just change it to a drum set. And this is what everyone shows you how to record, like V drums or an electric drum set, is basically a software instrument track, and it goes in here in MIDI, but then you're stuck using, the plugins or whatever, whether it kind of comes in the program. And again, that's what we're trying to get away from. Sometimes you just like the sound of the drum set that you're using, right, that you're used to practicing on and all of that. I'm going to add a track here. I'm just going to add an audio track. And what this will do, I have it on input 2 here. This is going to record just the audio of the drums I'm playing that comes out. As you saw before, I have out of the headphone jack, I've got it into this audio interface. So it's going to record a wave file. So basically what I'm going to get here is I'm going to get the MIDI file and the wave file. The nice thing about the MIDI file is I can quantize it if I need. If I miss a note or something, I can add it, you name it. So, and then you can create a wave file from that MIDI file later on if you want. Okay, so I'm going to record all 3 of these at the same time. So I just got to arm all 3 of them. Another quick note here is when you're recording, you have to have the external MIDI track highlighted. Otherwise, it won't record that track. It'll record these other 2 just fine if they're not highlighted. But for whatever reason, again, I'm not sure why, but you got to have that highlighted. So I'm going to play some drums now, and I'll explain later kind of how it works once I do that. Okay, now that that's recorded, let's go back and just kind of see what happened. I muted this audio track because, one, you're not going to be able to hear it anyway, but trust me, it's recording the drums. So I'm going to play it, and you'll kind of hear what's happening here. So it's right now it's playing both these tracks, so I'm going to just do some muting. If I mute this track, you actually won't I don't think you'll be able to hear this track. Let me see. Nope, you can hear it. So now you're only hearing this roots drum set, and like I can change it over to a different set. You'll hear the difference. Okay, so there's that, and now I'll unmute this. I'll mute that, and now all you're going to hear is this TD50 drum set. So the drum set I have it on right now is number 37, called Ringing Tones. So it's more like a John Bonham type set. So you hear that. I'm going to, let me just loop this. And I'll change the drum set around, and you'll hear the difference in tone. So that's like a 60s, 70s kit. Here's a custom kit that I make. So essentially what you're doing is, it's very similar to just the software instrument track, right? With the software instrument track, I can choose all these drum sets. Over here in my library, on the external MIDI track, your library is your drum brain, right? So you can change it on the fly what you want, but the nice thing is now I can go in and I can, I can mess with the notes and, change anything I want. I can quantize. I can do whatever I need, and then if I need to, I can convert this into an audio file later, once I've done everything I need to it, if that's what you choose to do, because, unfortunately, if you take this track somewhere else and you don't have your drum brain connected, it's just not going to play. So in order to hear what I want to hear on this track, I need to have my drum brain connected, which can be a problem. So that's why you would choose to make it an audio file, so you could just use not always have to have your drum brain connected to it. Again, once you're done doing whatever you want with the track. And then one other thing I want to show you is I'm going to create another software instrument track here, because as I recorded them together, I'll just move this down here. You can see this is like kind of tied to that. But if I just want the MIDI and I don't want it tied to the other track, and there's some funky stuff that happens with these being tied together, all I got to do is I hold down the Option key on my Mac and just drag it so it's copying that file, right? And there you go. Now I can mute these, and I've got it's going to play a piano here, right? But that's really a drum set, and so now this is just like a pure software instrument track, like everyone else shows you how to record. But again, this tutorial is simply so you can get your drum brain sounds out of it. So there you go. I hope that helps. You can ask questions, I guess, below. Not sure, how often or if I'll know any of the answers. This is just, I'm just a guy at home that just figured out how to do it this way. So hope you enjoyed it, and thanks for watching.